Hey friends, it's Rick with kafunk.com. In today's blog, I wanted to make it as a continuation of what I presented last week, where I gave you the history of the founders, Bill and myself, in the music business as singer-songwriters, and myself as a songwriter-producer, and also that Bill draws these amazing cartoon characters. So we had this idea of doing online cards and having them animated. Okay, so now the next step was to see, let's do one, see if it works. This is even before we came up with the idea of calling it Kafunk and having a business and launching it or anything. So first step is to write the song. What I wanted to do was, as our first one, write a birthday song that's just kind of fun and swingy, like electro-modern swing. So I'm going to show you next of how kind of it came together, how I wrote it, and the different parts in the production towards the final towards the final song being completed. So that's what this is what that looks like. So the first thing to show you is how I just started the idea. So first I started fooling around with guitar. Then I tried these vocals.
Happy birthday.
Now, I'm not much of a singer, but you hear in my sketch idea.
Birthday.
Then I added this.
Another year gone by. Well, don't you cry. Just lift your face and take your place among the latest and the greatest.
Now to add a name.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Randy. Happy
So I can
birthday.
insert the name at that point. Next was to try some
We'll celebrate.
rhythm stuff behind it.
You're supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You're more than a statistic. You're completely fabulous. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Randy. Happy birthday.
So that gives you an idea of just the basic structure of it. And then I also wanted to try some horn ideas. So that part that I've just shown you now is really kind of the writing session that went behind it, where I came up with the structure, the melody, the words that I'm singing or speaking in here. So next I'm going to move on to the actual production of the song. So here's just the guitar and the bass. And here's with the piano. And the horns. So here you got the clarinet solo, and you got the horns behind it. Okay, now I'm going to let you hear some of the rhythm behind it. So it's got a nice feel to it. Okay, now my friend Randy did these backgrounds. Let's check this out.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Now you got that, and here's where we now add the main singer and the singer that'll say the birthday names.
Happy birthday, Marla.
Happy birthday.
Another year gone by. So that's me. Just lift your face and take your place among the latest and the greatest of the human race.
Solo that you heard before, most everything in. So that gives you more of the idea of the actual production of it, where as a producer I make it sound professional and good, as opposed to my sketch. And eventually did, I've done over 2,000 names that have to do each and every one. Happy birthday, Marla. Happy birthday, Rick. Happy birthday, Larry. So that's how that all got put together. Okay, so we have the song. Now we need the characters. Bill listened and listened and listened, and the first thing you want to do is come up with the main singer. So this is the guy that he came up with. Experimented with different color shirts and all, but ended up with this guy being the main singer. Okay, now there's some background vocals going on, and there would be 3 of them. So here's what Bill came up with for them. And this middle guy is the one that is going to be saying the names, so it's a different it's a different character than let's see, where did he go? I lost him here somewhere. This guy. So we've got him, and we've got these singers so far. So this guy over here is going to be the main guy. This guy in the middle of the 3 singers will be saying the names. But then there's also a sax solo in the middle of it. Well, who's going to do that? Bill experimented with a few different looks for sax players, but he came up with this guy. Now, at this point, we had to find an animator. I was very fortunate to find a guy named Jordan Loscalzo in Atlanta, and he basically taught us what we had to do, what pieces he needed to do his what's called puppeting or puppeteering or whatever you call it, of where you break down the characters so he can move them around. For instance, let's see if I can show you, like this chart right here. If you look at this and you look at the sax player, here's some different hand positions around the sax that are needed in order to animate the sax player. So that gave him most of what he needed. I think there's another file here of more sax for the sax player, some hand positions. So if he has all those, he can go from one to the next one within a few frames to make it look fluid. Now, beyond that, oh gosh, I could show you, let's see, that's the trio. See, I was saying before that we experimented with different colors for the shirt for this main guy, but since these guys are both red, we didn't want to use that. There's our reed guy again, and experimented with that background. Now, here's some various head positions and mouth positions for the main guy. So for this guy, now he obviously hasn't colored these in, the hair yet, but this will give you an idea of the different mouth positions that are needed to say all the different words. There's a whole chart, I don't think I have the chart, that is used for forming an O, for forming a B. You know, some of them can be the same mouth motion, but you need all these different motions for the mouth in order to make it look like the character's really saying these things. See, now that applies to a different character. So that gives you an idea of what's needed for character breakdown. I'm simplifying it tremendously because there's many, many parts. I would say Bill does as many as 100 to 120 different parts in breaking down each character for arm movements, for foot movements, and everything. Then, to put it in context, in a room or whatever, this is the room that we put them in that kind of looks like a studio. Well, it is supposed to be like a studio, and the singers are behind this glass in another room with a microphone above them. So that gives you a real simplified overview of the pieces and the characters that were drawn to the song that you first heard. Now, all of this was then sent to Jordan to animate, and I'll show you the final product here next.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Marla.
Happy birthday.
Another year gone by. Well, don't you cry. Just lift your face and take your place among the latest and the greatest of the human race. We'll celebrate and pontificate. The are supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You're more than a statistic. You're completely fabulous.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Marla.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Marla.
Happy birthday.
Now, just so you know, we went through probably a half a dozen or more versions that we kept coming with different ideas. Okay, when would we use the split screen where you see the singer and the sax player? Or when will it go just the singers? Will we focus on one of the singers? Just all that stuff was decided over a period of time, going back and forth, and Jordan would make the changes. He'd make his recommendations to, and then we finally came up with the with that final product. So that's it for today. And next time I'll take you through what we then decided to do to actually formally start this entity called Kafonk, and kicking around different names and such until we finally came to it. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Take care.